Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio. This is the Ramsey Show, where we help you win in your life, specifically your money, your work, and your relationships. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by Jade Warshaw. We're here for you this hour. 888-8255-5225 is the phone number. 888-825-5225. We are fresh off of the airplane from an amazing Building Wealth Live in Austin, Texas last night. Myself, Jade, Dr. John Deloney, and Dave Ramsey in a packed house, Jade. And it was really fun.
It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. And somehow you look even younger now, having got off that plane. You look fresh as a daisy, Ken.
Well, I had a 20-minute session in the cryo freezer, and so I don't even know what that is. Just made that up. That's not a thing. Don't listen to anything I'm saying. But we had a great time on the road, and we'll talk more in the show about the remaining dates. So let's get to it. People are lined up, ready to go. It's a free phone call, 888-825-5225. I also want to point out we have a fantastic studio audience watching out there. They're very excited to be here, and we love having them with us. Let's go to Roanoke, Virginia. Megan is there. Megan, how can we help?
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Absolutely.
Thanks. My husband and I are in baby step 2, and we want to know if it's okay to pause the baby steps to cash flow a vehicle. I drive about 6,000 miles every 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I had gotten ridden. So sorry, I get very nervous and I stutter.
That's all right. That's all right.
You're doing great. Take your time.
Okay. I had gotten rid of. We had $116,000 in debt. We've paid off 40 since we started towards the end of last year. So we've really been booking it, but part of that was we got rid of a car payment in a car. We had saved up cash to buy a cheap $4,000 car, and it just completely broke down last night, and it'll probably be 2 to 3 at a minimum to fix it. And I know Dave says don't just buy a new car when it breaks, but I'm wondering if my situation is any different, where I can just, pause the baby steps, save up, and buy something just a tad bit newer, so that way I have something reliable for my work.
Why are you, what's causing you to drive that many miles? I'm just curious. That's a lot.
It is so much. I'm working 70 to 90 hours a week right now. I'm dying. But I'm a medical courier. So hospitals, doctors' offices, that kind of thing. I have to pick it up and then drive it, to
whatever the radius is
to the lab.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. How much do you have saved so far that you could put towards this vehicle?
Right now, we just have the emergency fund, and because everything else we were, throwing towards the debt.
So the car that's broken down, you said you paid $4,000 for it?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's going to cost $2,000 to $3,000 to fix?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you? Sorry.
How much? I'm
ahead,
sorry.
Ken.
How much is in the emergency fund?
$1,000.
Just $1,000.
Yeah, just $1,000.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because we're only in baby step 2 right now.
All right. I got you.
Have you shopped it around to a couple of different places, or is this just one guy's opinion?
This is, myself and my family, we're all pretty mechanically inclined.
Okay.
And so from the research I've done, it's an inverter where it's a hybrid vehicle because I need a good fuel economy for all the miles I drive, save money. And from what I can find, the cheapest on the web for parts and labor is going to be 2 to 3. If I take it to a dealership and have to have someone work on it, it's probably going to be much more because, they have to charge for the labor.
If it's me, and this has, you just got the car, it's not like it's proven to be a money hole or a money pit. I'd probably go ahead and get it fixed. And if it seems like it's going to continue to give you problems, then I'd consider getting out. But I would try to get this done dirt cheap. There's been times that Sam and I have ordered the part ourselves on Amazon and then taken it, and it has saved us hundreds instead of having the dealer order it or the mechanic order it. So whatever you can do to kind of get crafty and try to save money and cut cost, don't spend more than $2,000 to get this fixed. And if you start seeing that this is a trend and that you just kind of got sold a lemon, then get out of it. But try to stack up and cash flow this if you can, so that you don't have to start from scratch with your emergency fund. Do you think you could do that?
Yeah, I could probably do it in about a week or two. It's just whether or not it's worth it, or I should just put it towards a new one.
What do you think, Ken?
Well, I want to know what you're going to do while the car's being fixed or while we're waiting to get the car fixed. What's your solution? Because you're not going to stop working, right?
No, I'm not. I'm actually, they went out last night, and this morning I'm already in a rental. So I'm cash flowing a rental until it's either fixed or I find a new one, depending on what you guys tell me to do.
Okay, and then the other question I have is, why are you working 70? And I don't begrudge this. I'm just curious. Why are you working 70 to 90 hours a week?
Because my husband and I swore I wouldn't get emotional, but
That's
we've
okay.
been drowning in debt for the 6 years of our marriage, and we have a 4-year-old, and we want to, go through the steps and build a better future for him. So, my husband, he's working a ton. He switched to a new job where he's working a ton, and now I'm working a ton, just trying to get this debt out of our lives
well,
as quickly as possible.
I just wanted to know what was going on there, and I just want to encourage you that you all are doing the right thing, and it seems really, really hard right now. And what really sucks is that here you are busting it, and all of a sudden something bad happens, and it can really discourage you. But this is life, and you will overcome it. Jade, your story, super intense, and you've had to overcome things like this. And so I throw it back to you to just encourage your heart right now, because I think that's more important.
Yeah. Hey, don't grow weary in well-doing. Don't grow weary in doing what is right, because at the right time, all right, that in just another year, in just a couple of months, for you in just 2 weeks, and at just the right time, you will reap a harvest if you don't faint. That's what God's word says. And you guys are up against it. I mean, you guys are moving, you're shaking, you're doing it, you're sacrificing, you're doing all the right things. And that sacrifice, it's tough at the time. It is not easy. Anybody who's listening to this call right now, what she is going through, what she is sacrificing to win, it is not easy, but it is so necessary, and the reward will be so worth it for those who do not faint. So not just for you, but anybody listening, keep going, Megan. Keep going. Whoever's listening, Janet, Paul, Tim, John, whoever is listening, keep going. You will reap a harvest if you do not faint.
Isaiah says it well. Those who wait on the Lord, and the word wait there in that scripture means hope in the Lord, shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings like eagles and soar. They shall run and not grow weary. They shall walk and not faint. And here's the key right now, Megan. You are in a season where you're not even walking. You feel like you're just shuffling. And I'm just telling you, that scripture says if you're in a season where it's just really hard and you're just dragging one foot and then dragging the next foot, you're just shuffling. You're not even walking. He says you will not faint. And you've got a process that works. More importantly, you and your husband have passion to get to the other side. This is just a temporary impediment. You're going to blow through it, and you're going to be in financial peace before you know it, living like no one else. We're here for you through the entire journey. She's Jade Warshaw. I'm Ken Coleman. Don't move. More of The Ramsey Show coming up.
Y'all, there's a lot you can't control when it comes to healthcare, but there is something you should check out that can help. Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM is not insurance. It is budget-friendly, biblically based health cost sharing. That means a community of members helping share the burden of each other's healthcare costs. They help people just like you in all 50 states. So see if CHM could be right for your family. Learn more today at chministries.org/budget.
The Ramsey Show continues from our Nashville area-based headquarters. I'm Ken Coleman. Jade Warshaw joining me in studio this hour. We're here for you to talk about your life, specifically your money. your work, and your relationships. All three of those areas are so vitally important that you are winning, that you are healthy in those areas. Because if you're not in any one of those areas, I promise you they affect the others. The phone number to jump in, 888-825-5225. Jade is our money expert, and I'm the work expert. At least that's what they tell me. I don't even like the word expert, but there you go. Here to help you get unstuck if you got some of those calls. 888-825-5225. Now, let's talk about work and money combining here. Great story in my hands. This is a Fox Business article, and that's the sound effect is real. It's just the paper. We like to call it the paper crinkling on the Ken Coleman Show. It's very popular. I'm not sure if the audio guys liked it very much, but it's too late. So Jay, this is the story, and this is really cool. I'm going to read the headline and give you the guts of it. But for those of you right now that are watching and listening, and you got this check, I like to call it, in your spirit, and it just keeps kind of popping back up. I should do this, or I could do this, or I want to do it. But then you just, for whatever reason, your head voice begins to drown out your heart voice. This story is for you. Stephanie Beggs was named to the Forbes 30 Under 30 list in North America 2023 for her accomplishments. Who is Stephanie? Well, she is a nurse by training, and she turned a side gig into an online empire. This is a direct quote from her. She told Fox Business, "I got started selling my notes when I graduated from nursing school. I was studying for the boards exam, and it was right when the pandemic happened, so I had nobody to study with." This is my favorite part of the story, Jade. "I would teach myself to the wall, and I would record it, and then I posted that onto social media, and people loved it. They then asked to buy my study sheets. So I created a shop that eventually became viral, and so now I sell study sheets. I passed the boards a long time ago, but now I sell them for students who are approaching the boards exam and taking tests in nursing school." So that's how it started. So I want you to catch this for a second. Jade, here she is. And she doesn't have anybody to study with, so she thinks, you know what, I'm gonna read my study notes to a wall, essentially, and put my cell phone in front of me and record it. And then she has a hunch, or that check. And she says, you know what, maybe I'll post it on social, what the heck. Maybe it'll help one or two nurses. She didn't say this in the article, but we know that to be true. She didn't have a grand plan.
No.
And she says that. And so then it picks up steam, and now, where is it?
Oh my gosh.
She started selling her notes in June of 2020. Listen to all you folks out there who need a little hope. And now she's surpassed $2 million in profits last year alone. That was 2022.
Wow.
What a story. She now sells specific sheets for $2, class-specific sheets for $30 or $40, or a giant bundle for $150. So again, this isn't a big manufactured product. She didn't have to travel overseas to come up with something fancy, Jade. She just simply took something that helped herself and she shared it, and boom. What do you think when you hear a story like that?
I think that each person has something to offer.
Boom. Love that. That's
they have
absolutely
something
true.
to offer that can help other people. That's my first thought. And then I think about whatever it is that you're struggling through.
Yeah.
Whether it's paying off debt, trying to pass your nursing exam, trying to, whatever it is, it's never just for you.
Yeah.
There's always something beyond you where others can benefit from that if you choose to look for it and find it.
Love that.
And so that's thing two. Now there's a third thing, Ken.
Oh, it's coming to you.
The third thing is all the time people are trying to make more money. I'm side hustling. And people are quick to go to things that are pre-existing. I'm going to do DoorDash. I'm going to do Uber Eats. I'm going to do these other things. But I always like to challenge people. There's probably something that you're already doing.
Yes.
It's either your skill set or very closely related to your skill set that you could do and make more money and probably get more joy out of.
Yeah.
Because you already love doing it. You already know how to do it. You already enjoy doing it. And so when it comes to side hustling, because this is how this started for her, it was a side hustle, and then it just grew and grew and grew. I think that's where you need to start.
Yeah.
With the things you already know, you're going to make more money per hour because you get to set the hours. You get to set what you earn.
And here's the big takeaway. She solved a problem for herself. And then she went, I wonder if this solution that I created for me would help anybody else? It's a fabulous question, and don't lose the simplicity, of what's going on here. The simple solution for herself, she shared it. Now that's the takeaway. She shared her study sheets, and she netted $2 million in profit last year. That's all she did. She took a solution that she created, or as Jade was saying, it could be a solution that she provided for someone else. And all she did was say, I'm going to share it. And I just feel like there's somebody listening and watching right now that you need to hear this. You're afraid to share it. And I don't know why.
Imposter syndrome.
But it doesn't matter. You just need to share it. Because 2 people may buy it, or you may make $2 million next year, but you'll never know. So that is the moral of the story. I love Stephanie's story. So hopefully that encourages some people today.
But you said it though. People are afraid to share, and that imposter syndrome is real. That's a real thing that people face. I'll tell you.
It's just good old-fashioned doubt, because here's what I want to say about that. Number one, you aren't an imposter.
You aren't.
And that means fraud. Mm-hmm. And you don't have a disease. You just have good old-fashioned doubt.
I like it, Ken.
I mean, I get the phrase.
No, but what you're saying is exactly right.
You don't have a syndrome. Welcome to the human race. By the way, I'm serious. Here's what I want to say about this.
Step on in. The weather's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Here's what I want to say. Jade, when you are experiencing fear and when you are experiencing doubt, that's a good sign.
Oh, yeah.
I want to encourage people that are right now, you feel gripped by fear and doubt. I want to encourage you to say this. It's because you are thinking about moving forward, or you're in the act of moving forward. Let me tell you, the people who never experience fear and doubt, the people who sit on the bleachers of life and watch everybody else. You can't be afraid of anything when you're elbow deep in popcorn. You can't be doubtful when you're feeding your face with nachos, watching everybody else live life.
Come on,
and
Ken.
so I just want to encourage people, if you have got some fear today and some doubt today, it's a good sign that your heart is engaged and longing for a better future. And so from that standpoint, can I just say, don't feel bad about yourself because you're fearful and doubtful. You should go, all right. Ken says that that's a good sign.
Oh, yeah. That's the sign you're exiting the comfort zone.
That's right.
And that's a good thing, because you can only stay in the comfort zone so long. You're not going to grow after a while. You gotta shake it up, spice it up.
I tell you, comfortable is the plank in the bridge right before miserable.
Ooh.
Because the longer that I'm comfortable, the closer I'm becoming to miserable. Now I want to unpack that for a second.
Come on,
I'm
Ken.
sorry.
You're preaching to it. You're preaching right now, Ken.
I know. I may take an offering here later, so don't be offended if that just pops out. No, here's what I want to say about that. The longer that I'm comfortable, the closer I am to being miserable simply means this. When I'm not being challenged, when I'm not growing, then I am slowly dying. And when we say that and you hear people say that, what that really means, Jade, is that my soul, my spirit moves into a languishing, where I'm languishing. And that's just, I know that's a big word. Look it up if you haven't ever heard it or used it before. But it really is it's this kind of no man's land of I'm not growing and I haven't started going backwards yet. But then what happens is it takes us to this emotional state where a lot of depression lives, and then anxiety builds in this place because I'm not growing. I don't see an opportunity to go forward.
I've heard it said the enemy of growth and greatness is just fine.
That's it. Comfortability.
Just fine. You ask somebody how you're doing, I'm just fine.
Yeah.
You better be careful.
Mm-hmm. And the takeaway from all that is we would rather be miserable than uncomfortable, because misery, we know what we're dealing with. When we're uncomfortable, that means we're in a place of stepping out into the future. So, all right, we're just getting started. The phone number is ready to roll. 888-825-5225. She's Jade Warshaw. I'm Ken Coleman. You're listening to The Ramsey Show.
Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information.
Welcome back, America. You've joined the conversation here on The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman. Jade Warshaw, my colleague, joins me this hour. We're taking your calls on your life, money questions, work questions. You're in a toxic environment, got a boss that's just pathetically bad. You don't know what to do. You're scared to move. What are the financial ramifications? Those work money questions, fun stuff for Jade and I to get into today. 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Let's go to the Big Apple. Brian is there. New York City. Brian, how can we help?
Hi, guys. How you doing?
We're having a blast. What's up?
So I have a question. I'm not sure what to do. My gut tells me to do one thing. I want to pay off my mortgage. Mm-hmm. I have no other debt. I owe $164,000 on the mortgage, and the home is worth roughly $750,000.
Wonderful.
Basically, I want to hit the reset button. I don't want to have to worry about the monthly payment anymore.
Uh-huh.
So, but everyone's telling me no, keep cash in the keep the cash in the bank.
Is this your how much you have enough cash to pay it off completely? And after you did that, would you still have 3 to 6 months of expenses saved?
It would be close. So cash, I have about $120,000 in cash.
Okay.
My brokerage account, my personal account is about $55,000.
Okay. That's a taxable brokerage?
That's a taxable one.
Okay.
And then in annuities and 401k, there's roughly $550,000.
What's in the annuities versus the 401k?
The annuity is about $200,000.
Okay. So we wouldn't have to touch all of that. I would probably I wouldn't touch anything in the 401k. I would go for the $120 in cash, and I would look at the $55K that you've got in the taxable brokerage.
But why sell the house?
He's not selling it. He wants to pay it off.
No, I don't want to sell the house.
Oh, I missed it. You want to pay it off?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to pay it off. I don't want to have to worry about the monthly payments anymore. My job, I'm not too comfortable with my job security. So my mindset is if I don't have a mortgage payment, it's a lot easier just to pay the taxes.
Yeah. Well,
it
makes sense. What you're saying makes a lot of sense. Let's talk about it through the lens of the baby steps. So have you been walking our baby steps, or did you just kind of end up here? You found us and it's like, hey, I kind of did that stuff. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I did. We're in the middle of FPU now.
Okay, great.
I've had this mindset for a long time.
Okay.
And everybody kept telling me, oh, it's free money. 2.5% interest rate. It's free money. Why pay it off? Why pay it off?
No.
And
okay.
My mindset is it's a payment.
Yeah,
and you're
right.
Your instincts are totally right, Brian. And I'll take it one step further. I would pay off the mortgage as long as you're continuing to invest 15% into your retirement. That's baby step 4. Baby step 5 is you're saving for kids' college. Do you have kids?
I am.
Okay,
Yep.
You're doing that. Now you're baby step 6, which is you can pay off the house. Now here's the deal. You don't have to go at a speed of intensity. We talk about the final baby steps being more about intentionality. So you don't have to liquidate it all and do that. If you wanted to, you've got enough money sitting. I mean, you've got the cash here. You've got a taxable brokerage that for all intents and purposes is really just a glorified savings account that you're using it for. So I would touch only those monies to make it happen. I would not dip into a 401k. I would not dip into any type of retirement. Yeah. If you had some sort of single stocks or crypto or something that you were trying to get out from under, you could sell that and throw it towards your mortgage. I'm not mad at that, but I don't want you to feel like that you're on fire and that you're running to put it out. Does that make sense?
Are you paying any on it now above and beyond just the payment itself, the mortgage payment? Are you putting in a little extra now?
Oh, I put a lot extra now.
How much extra are you putting above and beyond the payment itself?
Well, my minimum payment, I'm doing at least 2.5 times my minimum payment.
Okay, great. So here's why I'm asking this. If you didn't take any of this 120 that you got in cash and put it towards the 164 balance, okay, how long would it take you to pay the house off with just the extra that you're putting on it right now? What's your payoff date if you didn't change anything? 4 years. All right. So
my job's not going to last 4 years.
How do you know?
It's just the nature of it. Everything is going electronic.
Okay. Well, that's fine, but we still want you to keep your emergency fund. So whatever the 120 is minus your 3 to 6 months, whatever your comfort level is, you could put that on the house. I wouldn't touch any of those other funds. I would just take the cash.
I don't want to touch the other funds. What I basically want to do is empty out. I would have to empty out my cash in my brokerage account.
Yeah.
Bring that down to literally zero, and then reset from there, because now I can make the payments of 2.5 times what my mortgage payment is. I can replenish that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Well, when you say reset, here's the big piece of this. We do not want you to sacrifice your 3 to 6 months of emergencies to make this happen. Okay. If you do this, you need to keep that emergency fund, because if you don't, you're putting a giant target on your back. Okay, the way we teach it, there's a reason and an order for the way that we do these baby steps, and it's to keep you protected. And it's to make sure that you're managing all sides of this thing. You know what I mean? You got a 360 view on what's going on. And if you get rid of that emergency fund, something's going to happen. It always happens that way. The moment you bleed that thing dry is when the roof.
Murphy lives next door.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's do it right. Again, like I said, nothing's on fire. So we don't have to go to extremes. But yeah, you got 120 in cash. Maybe you keep 30 of it aside and you use the rest of it to put on your mortgage. Either way, you're going to pay it off faster than 4 years.
2 years is most likely, wouldn't you say? That's where I was leading you. If you put a good chunk of the 120 cash, but we have a fully funded emergency fund, how much quicker is that going to allow you to pay it off? My guess is you're less than 2 years, 2 years max. Am I right?
Yeah, probably about there.
All right. Well, that's fine.
Because I started late too, as far as with the kids' savings plans. I'm behind on that.
Uh-huh.
So I am trying to play catch up there.
But brother, here's the deal. Let me ease your mind.
Put that towards the mortgage.
If your job gets eliminated, okay, if it gets eliminated, you're going to see that coming. That's not going to be a 6 weeks notice. So you've got this house, even if you don't have it paid off by that time. That house is giving you tremendous leverage, right? We're not saying you have to sell it. We don't want you to sell it.
No.
But the point is you're going to be okay. You've got time. You're vigilant. You're on top of this, is what I'm saying.
And can I just add, if we know that there's a job loss that's in your future, can we not plan that you've already got something else in your back pocket ready? Or can you transition before the inevitable takes place?
Absolutely.
Well, that's the thing. We have to be like a whole career change.
But that's fine.
I'm very... jobs like this, it's such a small little niche to what I do.
Yeah, okay.
Really
this is what I deal with. Listen, Brian, this is what I deal with every day, and I'm here to tell you that you have skill and you have experience that is transferable. Period. End of statement. You have skill and you have experience that is transferable to other industries, other career paths. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Do you believe me?
I do. I think it's harder.
It's whoa. It might be a little hard as it relates to you having to learn a few other new things or get some certification or put yourself out there. But you are acting like you are pigeonholed, and you're acting like a guy who is trying to batten down the hatches for the world's greatest storm. And I'm here to tell you, it's not that big of a storm. And Brian, I get it. So here, I'm gonna help you, okay? I'm gonna give you 2 resources so that you can tackle this pivot, because that's all this is a professional pivot. I'm gonna give you my Get Clear Career Assessment. It's a 15, 18-minute assessment that's gonna help you be so much more self-aware of what you're good at doing, what you love to do, and what motivates you. And then I'm gonna give you the book that's the companion to it. Think of the assessment as a compass, and then the book From Paycheck to Purpose is the guide up the new mountain. Hang on the line. We're going to give you those. I want you to take the assessment, and then I want you to read the book, and you're going to begin to see things in a completely different light. And you're so disciplined, you're going to be fine, but you just got to get over this doubt about this job change. You're doing a great job. Thank you so much for the call. You're going to get there. All right, don't move. She's Jade Warshaw. I'm Ken Coleman, and you're listening to The Ramsey Show. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman. I'm joined by my colleague, Jade Warshaw. The phone number for you to jump in is 888-825-5225. All right, it is that time of year where I have to go buy extra bottles of antacids because it's tax time. I hate. And when I say I hate, I want you to understand I'm not going to regret saying this later today. I hate with a deep, abiding passion taxes. I hate taxes. But I also believe we got to pay them. And so a lot of you have questions about taxes. It can be crazy. There's all kinds of new provisions every time the Congress does something. And so you need a tax pro. So we've got a question from one of our viewers and listeners. I'm a new business owner. What are the most important things I need to do to make bookkeeping for my business easier? Oh, that's a headache. Stacey and I ran a small business. Jade, you and Sam, you get it.
I get it.
Bookkeeping is, especially for small business. So First, we want to say congratulations on starting a business. And bookkeeping is a lot. If you're not already, make sure that you're keeping your personal and business expenses separate. Okay, that's really important. Then you need to create a regular bookkeeping routine so you're always on top of tracking your expenses, receipts, and invoices. And then finally, make sure you're trying to automate any processes with accounting software or by working with a tax professional. And I will tell you, Jade, I don't know. I don't know what your opinion is. I always think it's worth it to pay a really professional bookkeeper or CPA.
Yes. Just pony up the cash.
Yeah.
Just loosen up the old purse strings.
That's so true. They review your books to reduce risk, eliminate errors, and maximize total tax deductions, which is that's really beautiful. When I find out I have a tax deduction, I just go hug an animal. That's how happy it makes me happy. Hey, we've got Ramsey Trusted Tax Pros, one of our endorsed local providers, can help you. Our team has already vetted them, so you know these people are good at what they do and they care about taking care of you. Head to RamseySolutions.com/taxpro. That's RamseySolutions.com/taxpro. So there you go.
And might I add to that, Ken?
You might.
As a former business owner, my husband still owns the business.
Yep.
Sometimes you don't want to pay the money for these things. You think, I'll just do it myself.
Yep.
And you end up spending more of your time and losing money in productivity. If you would, as opposed to if you would just pay someone who does this every day, who can do it lickety-split and get it done for you, trust me, you will lose money trying to do this yourself because you won't be as productive as you normally are actually making money for the business. So just throwing that out there.
You get your time and you get rid of stress.
Yep.
I mean, that's why you do it.
Worth it.
Yep, there you go. Hey, we have a lot of new people joining the program all the time, whether you're watching or listening, and we want to say welcome. And if a lot of this language and some of the stuff that we're saying to our callers is new to you, we've got you covered. Go to RamseySolutions.com and click on the Get Started button. And what this is going to do is quick little survey for us to be able to know where you are on your journey. within our plan, and then we can get you caught up really quick. It's a wonderful new feature at RamseySolutions.com. Get started. Check it out. All right. To the phones we go. Burlington, Vermont. I feel like I need a scarf on for this call. This is very exciting. Gabe is there. Gabe, how can we help?
Hey there. I'm 21 years old. I'm a full-time student. I'm working full-time as well, and have no debt. I'm technically I'm through step one, baby step number one. Have no loan debt or anything like that yet, but I know that debt is coming once I'm through school. I'm doing online school, and I'm expecting about $20,000 in student loans.
Why?
Once I'm done with my degree.
Why?
And the first 2 years.
Hold on, Gabe. We need to know why you're expecting debt to come to you in the future. What does that mean?
Because you don't just wander in.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think that I have to take out loans to pay for my tuition.
And my question is why? Because you told me that you're working full time, and you're doing online school.
Yep. I'm living, by myself, living in an apartment. So I have expenses I have to take care of. So much of the income is taking care of that. Mm-hmm. I've also just been putting a lot of that money in the savings, expecting,
knowing it's coming.
Whatever loans I'm not going to be able to pay.
Can I be real with you? Can I be real with you? I'm gonna be your big sister who sometimes puts you in a headlock. All right, that's who I'm gonna be right now. Yeah. You got to take these student loans off the table. You got to take them off the table, and you can. And I especially love your situation because out of all the folks who call us with different types of educational situations, I feel like yours is actually pretty flexible. You're working full time. Check. That's excellent. You're already knowing, hey, I got to start putting money aside, and you've started doing that. Check. Now you're also going to school online. Dude, you can be flexible with this. All right. Yeah. You don't have to just move so quickly that you throw yourself into debt. If it means you got to slow down a little bit, that's okay. If it means you need to pick up extra hours, that's all right. If it means you need to get a roommate so that you can lower your expenses, so that you can throw more money to tuition. Do you see what I'm saying? We got to look through this.
Working on a roommate right now.
Great. Don't work on it. Do it.
In the first 2 years of my school, I was just really. I'm a cook, and so. Cool. With summers off from school, I just pick up a ton of hours at work, and I've been knocking out any tuition just in full.
Yeah.
My first 2 years in school are paid off.
So why can't you keep doing that?
I'd taken some advice from somebody who said, I was doing that and not having really a lot of money in my savings. I think I had about $3,000. And so people were saying, what you want to do is really try and you don't have any savings right now, so try and build your savings, and don't worry about.
They're wrong, but they're not totally wrong. They're wrong, but they're not totally wrong. You probably need $1,000.
That was the tricky thing is, to me, I don't want to have to. I don't like the idea of debt. Yeah. And that's why I was doing that.
You need $1,000 of emergency fund. That's baby step one. You don't have any debt yet, and let's keep it that way. So you save your $1,000. Everything above and beyond that right now, we're saving it up to pay cash for college. Because here's the thing. You can save up all the money. You can save up $10,000, $20,000, but it's not going to be your
15 right now.
Okay, so I want to work with some real numbers. How much more tuition do you need to finish? What's the total number?
I've got about a year left.
What's the
I've got
total?
$10,000 in loans right now, and then I've got another year. So
you got $10,000.
Oh, I thought you said you didn't have any loans yet.
Well, I don't have to pay them.
I see.
Loans I have to pay until I'm through with school.
Okay, right. Well, let's go back. I know you got a year left. How much tuition money do you need to finish?
12.
12,000.
A little bit over 12.
And he's got that in the bank. He's got $15,000.
Right?
Yeah.
So you've got the cash to finish.
So you don't need any more money for tuition.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that to me is, I would have paid this last year off and not taking out any loans. I just would have done, what I've been doing, which is working hard in my summers and then just paying that off in full.
Okay, but here's the deal.
All right.
But Gabe, you've got some good people in your life who've given you really bad advice. And what they're saying is don't spend the 15, which you only need 12. They're saying don't spend the 12 cash for your last year. Just go get a loan and worry about it later. They're wrong.
They're wrong.
They mean well, But this conversation is done. We've already told you what we would do, what we believe you should do. And so you've now got the $12,000, okay, for tuition. Now you have an extra $3,000, okay, that we would say is a part of your savings in case any kind of emergency, but you're still going to bust tail. You're going to work really hard. You know why? Because I want you to pay the $10,000 in student loans off immediately before you even finish.
Yes.
That way you're absolutely free. Do you see the different perspective here?
Yep. No, I get that 100%. I like I said, I think that was kind of the angle I was taking.
Good. You were right.
You're right. You're right, and what we're telling you is right. And I know somebody's in your ear. I don't know if it's mom, dad, big brother, cousin. They like Ken said.
I've been on my own since I was 16, so I haven't really had a lot of figures in my life who've been able to help me out with these things.
Well, we're
here to help you.
That's what you were talking about.
Gabe,
somebody was just looking out for me.
Gabe, I'm your big sister here to help you, bud, and we put you on the right track.
And Gabe, I would do what Jade says, because if she sees you in Vermont and she puts you in a headlock, whoa, watch out. I'm telling you, she means business.
I love you, Gabe.
Young man, you're doing great. Keep on getting after it. Jade Warshaw, great hour. Thank you so much. I want to thank the team behind the glass for keeping us on the air, but mostly you, America. This is your show. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jade. Look, if you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio, this is The Ramsey Show. It's where we help you win in your life, specifically your money life, your work life, and your relationship life. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, Jade Warshaw. The number to jump in is 888-825-5225, 888-825-5225. 225. Let's go to Dallas, Texas. Ruth is on the line. Ruth, how can we help?
Yes, hi. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm a huge fan. I'm calling today because I am looking to leave my full-time job to pursue what's been a passion project of mine. I'm a marketing director currently at a financial firm, and I'd like to become a content creator, creating digital courses, and eventually lead to motivational speaking and on all different types of content.
Great. What kind of content? Specifically, what solution are you providing to what problem?
Women empowerment. I'll be starting with a course on transitions and also launching out from there, helping women in different spheres basically pursue their dreams.
Okay. So I hear what you want to do. What specifically do you want our insight on?
I just want to make sure I've considered all the angles. So we've been saving for about 18 months. We're in baby steps 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, good.
We have a 6-month emergency fund, saving for a kid's college fund. He's a 5-year-old, and we have about $50,000 in a transition fund set aside just for any extra expenses, business expenses to launch it. However, we'll be leaving, taking 2/3 of our family income off the table.
Whoa.
To do
okay.
this.
All right. Now that's where I want to jump in, because that was the first question I was going to ask is, do you need your income? And the answer is sort of, right? Because you guys are in great financial position. But I don't know that I would recommend that you even consider this big of a pay cut. There are times where I'm absolutely saying, you have to do it in order to get where you want to go. You don't have to do this, and I'll tell you why. If you could completely walk away today and you didn't need to make any income, my advice on starting this new venture would be the same. And I would tell you to start small and grow slow. Not just because of the financial ramifications, but from a content development standpoint, clarifying your voice is a unique process. And I've done it. And so I'm going to speak from experience. I had a vision for what I'm doing at Ramsey Solutions to help people discover their potential, to meet their potential, and make a contribution that matters deeply to them. Now, I knew that was the mountaintop, but I did not have the methodology that I have today. There were so many things that I had to just test and try and fail and scrap and just kind of go, well, I'm going to try that. And well, that feels really good at 10 o'clock at night. But at 9 a.m. the next morning, it felt like a block of Velveeta cheese. I don't want anybody to know that I was thinking about saying it that way. It's that kind of stuff to where you got to throw stuff against the wall. So my point is, if that's the advice I'd give you if finances weren't an issue at all, it's absolutely the same advice when finances are there. So here's what I'm really telling you to do. I'd start, and I think you already have, but I don't think you walk away today, and I'm not sure you walk away 6 months from now. Where I'd like to see you 6 months from now is where you've launched your first course. Just one. Just one course.
Ruth, are you already replacing some of your income with this business endeavor, or have you been able to make any money yet doing this?
I've written a book a year ago, self-published, and I'm making money through that.
How much?
Just being a full-time mom, not much.
I might set
less than $10,000.
You can correct me, but I might set a goal of a percentage. Like, I want to be replacing this much of my previous income before I pull the trigger on exiting from your current situation. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Is that fair? Because here's where
has been my plan for the last 18 months. But I'm finding I'm just exhausted.
Right.
At the end of doing my day job.
Right. And here's the deal. That's why I'm telling you, keep doing the day job and do this thing on the side. Let's go through all the testing and all the failing and all the improving without any pressure at all. Because here's the deal. If you work so hard to save up 6 months of your current income, I don't know that you're going to have a whole lot left to give. In other words, I tell people all the time, you cannot give what you do not have. And when you're emotionally and physically exhausted, you're not going to be at your creative best to create content and a digital course and all those things that are really going to meet women where they are. My point is, take the pressure off. There will come a time, because you're in baby steps 4, 5, and 6, because you have the discipline to get there, that you will be able to step into this thing full time. Now is not the time. Not with a 5-year-old, not with the fact that you're exhausted trying to get up all that savings. Let's just launch a course. This year, let's launch one course. We do it at night and weekends when we don't have other things, and we take our time because we don't have financial pressure. Do you understand what I'm saying and why I'm saying that?
I do. I understand it. But I'm exhausted from the day job.
But here's the thing, Ruth.
Nights and weekends.
Let me get right on your level, because before I came here to Ramsey, back in 2020, let's go with 2019, I was working full time in our business, and then I also did about 15 to 20 hours a week in ministry. So I was working like crazy. 2020, I started something very similar to what you're talking about. It was online deal, more feast, less fam. It was all about money, food. I struck up a full production TV show to go on YouTube. It was a lot of work, and I did it all on the side. Had to do the social for it. I did it all on the side. I was exhausted. I've never worked so hard in my entire life. But do you know what it does? It tests. Yeah. It tests that passion to see if you really love it. And I love what Ken is saying. I didn't have to make money off of it. I just had to see, could I do it? Does it work? I was trying stuff. I was throwing spaghetti at the wall to see if it would stick. And there is something really beautiful about that. You're not going to be in this phase forever. That's right. You're going to learn something from this.
Well, and Ruth, here's what I want you to hear. I'm not in any way discounting that the day job is exhausting you, because then you're a mama, and then you're trying to do this thing. But here's what I'm saying. We cheat the dream for a little bit longer. Now, what I mean by that is I've got to take care of me. So, Ruth, you got to take care of you. So when the day job is exhausting you, plus being a mama, you got to treat yourself very well. And so if we have to spend more time, nights and weekends, resting and recovering, and a little bit less time on the dream, let's say developing that first course, that's okay. Do you hear me? You do not want to flame out trying to balance it all. You can't balance it. You can't.
Right.
And you can't. Here's what I would say to all the mamas out there. You can do it all, just not at the same time. And that's my encouragement. Here's the deal. Stay in the day job a little longer. Let's take care of yourself a little bit more. And just, if I'm only spending an hour a weekend, I'm making this up, working on that digital
Yeah.
course. That's okay. But let's launch one thing. Let's test it. Take all the pressure off. By the way, you'll find that when the pressure's off, your creativity is so much better as well. Thank you so much, Ruth. You're amazing. You're a hero, and we're here for you. Don't move. More Ramsey Show right around the corner.
If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Visit Blinds.com to save up to 40% off everything site-wide. Go to Blinds.com for more information.
You have joined the conversation here on The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman. Jade Warshaw joins me, and we're here to help you win in your life, your money life, your work life, and your relationship life. So excited that you've joined us. 888-825-5225 is the number, 888-825-5225. And Jade and I are on a high. We landed this morning and drove in to do the big show here today. But we were in Austin, Texas last night, Jade.
Whoop, whoop.
And in a word, how would you describe that crowd?
Dazzling.
I knew she wouldn't disappoint. I was going to say scintillating.
Ooh.
So I
Love
wasn't.
it.
I wasn't. I just tried to go one lap.
You went up.
I cheated, but I like dazzling. It was a great crowd. Building Wealth Live. We are in the middle of this tour. We've gotten Indianapolis in the books, Austin in the books, and we've got 2 more cities: Salt Lake City, Utah on April the 24th, and Anaheim, California on May the 2nd.
Okay.
If you're new to us and you're going, what is Building Wealth Live? Well, this is a great live event where we help you with basic money principles. So whether or not you're in a strong economy, okay economy, or a bad economy, it doesn't affect you because you are winning with money and you are recession proof and you're building wealth. And that's why we call it Building Wealth Live. Tickets have been selling out quickly. Both of the events we've had so far, including Austin, Texas last night,
Packed.
was sold out. Woo. So you better move. The tickets start at just $49. RamseySolutions.com/events is the way to get the tickets. RamseySolutions.com/events. And who's in Salt Lake City?
It will be Christina Ellis, Dave Ramsey, not you,
Not me.
Rachel Cruz,
Yeah,
and
George Camel.
I think so.
Yeah, and then in Anaheim, it is Dave Ramsey, myself, Dr. John Deloney, and Christina Ellis.
Now, let me tell you, when John and Ken get together,
Oh, boy.
they do this thing in the pre-show. I had not witnessed it. It was a legend that I heard about, and I got to witness it here in Austin. They intervene in these people's lives in such a major way. It is really something to watch. So when you get tickets, try to get the get whatever it takes to go to the pre-show, right?
Well,
right, Ken?
You're very kind. We have fun. Yeah, and it's just real. You saw it. Life happens.
Oh,
People
man.
just come up and they get real with us, and we get real with them.
It was like Maury. I was like, this is different.
It is fun. John and I feel very, very blessed to do that. It's it's very rewarding because of how real it gets.
It does.
And you saw it.
It's palpable.
It's fun. A lot of fun. So anyway, we'd love to see you there. RamseySolutions.com/events. All right. You ready to take some more calls?
Let's go. Let's go, Ken.
Let's go to the city of brotherly love.
Hey.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Rocky.
Ro is on the line. Ro, how can we help?
Hi. Yes, I have about $300,000 in my 401k plan, and I'd just like to know what can I put it in to make it grow.
Well, the fact that you have a 401k is an excellent place to start. That's good. Do you currently know how it's being invested, or are you kind of just like, I just picked whatever they had for me?
Yeah, just pick whatever they had for me.
Okay. Well, what we would suggest, there's a way that we think is the best possible way to do your investing, and that is to have your contribution spread evenly over 4 types of mutual funds. So do you know, are you in mutual funds, or you said you're not sure at all what you're invested in, correct?
Yes, I'm not sure.
Okay, so what I would say, get with a Smart Vestor, and our Smart Vestor pros, they do everything the way we teach it. But I don't want you to just go in there and say, hey, give me the Ramsey, right? I want you to understand what they're investing your money in so that you have a great understanding of it. And they will have the heart of a teacher to teach this to you as well. But you want to have your money spread equally over 4 types of mutual funds. And I'm glad you're asking this question, Ro. It's a great question. I get it all the time on social media. People say, where am I supposed to invest my money to get a 10% return? And I say, gosh, if you could just understand this, you want to spread it over growth funds, growth and income funds, aggressive growth, and international. So what I mean by that, when I say that, is if we're talking about growth and income, I mean, these are big companies that we've just grown up with. I mean, these are your big boys that they're making money no matter what, and they're also paying out dividends that you're reinvesting. So it's like double the fun, right? And then you've got your growth funds. Again, it's a big sampling of all of these large companies, and growth funds, we know, again, they're making money. They're not as big as the big boys, but they're big, and we know that we can count on a return. And then you've got your aggressive growth. A lot of times that's tech funds, some more startup things. It's a little bit more aggressive, and so we're putting 25% there. And then we've, of course, got our international funds. And you want to choose something there. Don't necessarily choose a global fund, because sometimes that might include some things from the States as well, but international is what you're looking for. And so that's how we spread it out. And we do that so that we're not putting all of our eggs in one basket, right? And so that's the way to do it. And we're choosing mutual funds that are outperforming the S&P 500. Okay, I don't want to get too deeply into that, but that's what we're seeking to do, because a lot of people might say, oh, just park it in some index funds. Well, that's not bad, but we want to do better than that, and we can do better than that. Yeah. So that's kind of, hopefully I'm keeping the cookies on a shelf where we can all understand and everybody knows what we're doing here. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah.
It's getting there?
Yeah. What about IRA funds?
IRAs. Okay, so an IRA is not a fund. It's the basket that's holding your investments. So right now you've got a 401k. Your 401k is a investment account that's offered through your workplace. And if you did not have retirement offered through your workplace, you could get a very similar basket to hold your investments. That's called an IRA. And it's basically you going as an individual to get the investments as opposed to you going through your workplace. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if you wanted to, you could contribute to your 401k through your employer, and you could also probably go out and get a Roth IRA on your own and contribute to that as well.
Oh, okay.
So
Now,
you've got options here,
Yeah.
but it's great that you're contributing to your 401k. The way we say to do it here when it comes to investing is if you've got any sort of match with your IRA through your company, you will invest up to your match. So let's say you got 3% or 5%, you invest up to your match, and then you would go outside and open up your own Roth IRA and fully contribute to that, or until you run out of money. And then if you still have money left that you can invest, you go back to the 401k and finish it there. So match beats Roth and go on like that. Does that make sense? I don't want to overwhelm you, but I want to kind of make sure you understand, since you're asking great questions.
Now, listen, Ro, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to RamseySolutions.com, okay? And I want you to click on Trusted Services right at the top of the website. And I want you to then go and click on Investing in Retirement. And I want you to connect with 3 to 4 of our SmartVestor pros. These are world-class men and women who we have vetted, who we trust, and they actually... What Jay just laid out for you is a lot for you to take in, but they can explain it even further, and you want to make sure that you understand it fully. But get a SmartVestor Pro if you don't already have one to get your strategy. You don't do this by yourself is the point I'm making.
And there's a great blog we're going to put in the show notes. It's the best of retirement funds. So anybody who's listening, if you want to know more about the mutual funds that I was talking about, if you want to know more about how I was saying match beats Roth beats traditional, just check out that link in the show notes and you can learn all that you want to learn. I hope that was helpful for somebody.
It is. And again, we want to make sure that people understand that this program, the SmartVestor Pro, is a program that has helped so many people because those people that are listed on our website have to still earn your business.
That's right.
When you go sit down with them, don't just say, well, I'm here and you seem like a nice person because you're a Ramsey SmartVestor Pro. I'm going to let you take over my... No, they've got to explain it even further, as Jade did at a high level, to where you understand it and you go, okay, because you're in charge. You need help, but you're in charge. So again, anybody that's new or been listening, watching for a while, go get a SmartVestor Pro to help you with your retirement and investment strategy. You'll thank us, I promise. All right, don't move. More of your calls coming up. She's Jade Warshaw. I'm Ken Coleman. This is The Ramsey Show.
We've been doing business at Ramsey for more than 30 years. By now, we're a well-oiled machine, but it wasn't always that way. Yes, we've always had a vision, always had determination, and a drive to help people. But what we didn't have was one central place to access all our numbers so that we could get further ahead or quickly see when we needed to pivot. We were always jumping back and forth between different systems and spreadsheets. So when NetSuite by Oracle helped us wrangle our revenue, inventory, expenses, and more into one place, it was a game changer. And NetSuite's #1 cloud financial system can help your business gain the same visibility because businesses thrive on timely data. And NetSuite's real-time analytics can help your business have immediate access to your numbers daily so you always know where you stand and you can move quickly. So go to netsuite.com/Ramsey today and set up a free product tour. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey.
Helping you win with your money, in your work, and in your relationships. This is The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman. Jade Warshaw joins me. The phone number to jump in on the conversation is 888-825-5225. It's Friday afternoon. There's got to be some like messy, toxic work stuff out there that you just want me to get my hands dirty. We'll change your name and your location. We do that on the Ken Coleman Show all the time. There's some nasty stuff out there, so we're standing by. Let's go. I think Jade wants to wade into one of these as well.
I love it.
So there you go. But first, today's question comes from Julie from the official Ken Coleman community on Facebook. Is it ever wise to give more than 2 weeks' notice when leaving a job? If you can, and what I mean by that is you can give them that much notice. So if you want to give them 6 weeks or 2 months or whatever that is. So if you can do it and it doesn't mess anything up and it's not risky in any way, it's not creating tension with the new company that you've committed to. If you can and you believe you should, because you feel like I'm giving them the extra time to prepare, allowing me to transition well so the person who follows me can step in a little easier. So, and you believe you should, then the answer is yes. So if you can and you believe you should, yes, it's wise. But I would also say, don't feel guilt And it's kind of fun. I've answered enough of those on my show live to know that Julie's probably feeling guilty. And she's kind of wanting to know, should I give him a little bit more? Is that wise? Because she doesn't want to burn a bridge. And I understand that. And that's a really, really noble reason. But don't feel that you have to do this. If the company's been good to you, but it's time to move, then move with your head held high. But yeah, sure, it's wise.
Some people worry about their replacement too. They kind of think, "Oh man, I don't want to leave them in a lurch." What do you say to that, Ken? When people are
it's not your
worried,
problem.
It's not your problem.
It's not your problem. Now you do what you can do. So whatever that looks like, spreadsheet saved on the computer, messages on the desk that say, "Hey, here's the process."
Is that required or is that above and beyond?
That's above and beyond.
Okay.
I don't think it's required. The company will tell you what's required. They'll kind of say, hey, we'd like you to do this before you leave. And I think you're a class act and you say, sure, I want to leave well. So this question is it wise? It's just the wrong question. Is it required? No. Would it be a nice thing, classy thing? Sure, as long as it meets those two requirements. But other than that, it is what it is. I mean, look, companies you could go in and give them 6 weeks and they go, we want you to leave Friday.
Ooh.
I mean,
good riddance.
Right. So leave well.
Yeah.
Whatever leaving well looks like, that's fine. All right, let's get back to the phones. 888-825-5225. Buffalo, New York is where Janelle is waiting for us. Janelle, how can we help?
Hi, Ken. Hi, Jade. How are you? Thank you for taking my call.
You
Doing
bet.
great.
I have a quick question. My husband and I are kind of going, we're on the same page, but we can't really decide if we are making a good call or, if our decision leaning is in the right direction. So our take-home pay is about $9,500 a month. We currently rent an apartment for $1,300, and our lease is up in May, and rent is going to be going up to $1,385. We're in baby step 2. We have $15,000 left on a car and $30,000 left in student loans. And we're projected to pay everything off by December.
Great.
And we also have $8,000 in savings.
Very good.
My question is, we obviously know we're a little bit away from buying a house because we want to be debt-free, have the emergency fund saved, and also enough money for a hefty down payment. So we were wondering if townhomes in our area are going for about $1,800 a month. And we were wondering if it would be wise of us to rent a townhome for a couple years, and that way we have more space as if we were in a house, but we're not jumping into a house with, barely any down payment, right
Sure.
after we pay off debt.
Yeah, I applaud you for wanting to do, a home purchase in the smartest way. I applaud the fact that you're not in a hurry, because so many people are moving fast. They end up doing something real dumb. So I love that. Thanks for all the information, too. I had a quick question. You've got a lot in savings. I heard you say you were in baby step 2, but you have $8,000 in savings. What's the deal with that?
We're just afraid.
Just doing your own plan?
Me than him. No. Actually, we're taking FPU with you next week.
Yay! Hey, ho, let's go. So the $8,000, I do have questions about it. I have a feeling I know why you have it there, but I want to challenge you to work the steps as the steps are written.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because here's the thing, and if you feel pause about it, let me just remind you, millions of people have used this plan to get out, and it works. It works when you work it, and it works fastest and most effectively when you do the plan as written.
Jade's being very nice. I'm going to jump in.
I'm being nice because she's going to be in my class, and I got to face her. I got to face her again on the first.
So I get to ask the hard questions so that Jade is still super wonderful to you, because she is.
Okay.
If we took the $7,000 that we teach you to take out of the $8,000 in savings and put it towards the debt, how would that change the payoff date from December of this year? What would it move it to?
Well, actually, it would stay the same because
No, it won't.
No,
it won't. No, it won't, because
we were going to drain it at the end of the month once we pay our, we have $8,000 in savings, and at the end of the month we were going to be down to $8,000 left on the car, so we were going to drain it at that point.
Oh, so you planned on using it?
So we planned on using it.
Okay.
all right.
Forgive us, Janelle, because
All right.
we came
that's
we came in
okay.
hot.
We got bad information,
No,
but
it's
now
okay.
we're on the same page.
Okay.
Now we
No,
got
I
it.
probably should have been more precise. Yeah.
Okay, great plan. Now back to your other question, because I did get sidetracked by that 8K. Back to your original question about the renting. Yeah, I would rent. It's expensive to rent right now. Let's just be honest. And people feel funky about renting because they feel like they're throwing money down the drain and this and that. And that's really not the case. It's a small price to pay for doing things the right way and for doing things in the most secure way. And for you, the reason is being able to build up a solid down payment so that you can actually get into a home that you like, a home that you can afford, where the payment is no more than 25% of your take home pay, right? On a 15-year fixed. That's what you're looking to do. And do what it takes to get there. And if that means renting a townhome, now you said doing that to get a little bit more space. Is that necessary? Because I kind of like the idea. I mean, if you want to get there faster, what's wrong with increasing your rent by $85? I mean, it's just $85 as opposed to $585.
Yeah, that was my question. What do you need space for?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing is if we stayed here for another year, because that was another idea we were tossing around, is if we stayed here for a year and then it would be next May, at that point we would more than likely have our emergency fund saved up, but probably not enough for a down payment.
You didn't answer my question. You didn't answer my question.
There's no point in moving up.
You don't need space.
Yeah, there's no point in moving up to a townhome.
Okay.
Let me do simple math. Let me do simple math.
Yeah.
If you stay where you are, you're looking at a little over what, $600 a month, right at $600 a month? Do the math on that. 6 times 12.
Yeah.
Last I checked, that was $7,000.
Yep.
That you're putting towards debt and filling up that emergency fund just because you want a little nicer place. Let's be honest. It's okay to admit it.
Yes.
I wouldn't do it. I would stay right where you're at.
Absolutely
and go ahead and just swallow.
No, tell her to stay.
Okay, no, that's good.
You're being super nice. I'm like, don't change location.
Okay,
stay in the small
let's do what
place.
Ken said. Don't do it.
No.
I wouldn't do it. I'm just telling, I always tell people what I would do, because here's the thing, it's a free country. They're going to leave this call and do what they want to do.
You're right.
Jade Warshaw, the one who's on the air,
would not do it.
The one who's given the advice would stay where you're at.
Yes.
I'd go ahead and choke down, they're going to raise the rent. That sucks. Go ahead and choke down that $85 a month raise that they're going to do, and stay there. You are going to reach your goal so much faster if you just hold on a little bit longer. All right. Now, if you told me you're pregnant with triplets or quadruplets, then I might say, okay, you might need a little bit more space.
That's true.
But, for now, just hang out where you're at. You're doing right. You're doing everything good. You're not in a rush. And a lot of us can take a little bit of a lesson from you on that one.
It's a focus game. Focus on the money you're saving and putting to good use, not the nicer place. This is The Ramsey Show. The Ramsey Show continues. I'm Ken Coleman. Jade Warshaw joins me in studio. We're here for you. We're answering your questions about your life, specifically your money questions, your work and professional career questions, relationship questions. 888-825-5225 is the phone number. 888-825-5225. Andrew is on the line in Las Vegas. Andrew, how can we help?
Hi, Ken. Jade, how are you guys?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So I just had a roundabout blessing of sorts. My car, which I made the mistake of financing about 2 years ago, was just recently totaled. And after the total loss settlement pays off what's left in the loan, I'll have about $4,700 left over. Now, I did already do another dumb thing and finance another car, but this was at least less stupid. It was less stupid because I bought a 25-year-old beater of a truck for about $4,000.
So you financed the $4,000?
I did, yes. Stupidly. but I'm broke.
Okay.
My question is, that's not an excuse, I know.
No, you owned it. You owned it.
Sorry. Yeah, for sure. So do I use that leftover money to pay off the truck, or do I just work through the debt snowball and pay off, I think it would pay off my 3 smallest credit cards first?
Yeah, let's work it through the debt snowball. I wish that you had, waited if you could have and just translated that into a cash card. But at this point, we're here. It's not a giant amount of money. So let's just work it through the debt snowball and just go through it like that. How much debt do you have total?
Total, it's about $14,700.
Okay. And do you have baby step 1 in place, the $1,000?
I do, yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, then that's exactly what I would do.
And cut the cards up, bro.
Yeah. Did you do
100%.
that?
Yeah.
And
no, I haven't. I need to do that.
Now,
wait,
come
hold
on now,
on a second.
Andrew.
Do you have them with you right now?
I do, actually.
Okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to challenge you. You got a pair of scissors near you?
We're going to do this right now.
Andrew.
All right, I like it.
Get a pair of
like
scissors.
it.
Here's what we do. I'm big on sound effects. Like, I like to take paper.
I'll get you a drum roll.
And I like to make my own sound effects. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to it's fine. The audience loves it, Will. I promise. What I want you to do is get the credit card right up to the phone.
Yes.
And I want you to take the snizzers. What am I saying?
When you pull them out, they go shing.
And I want you to make the sound and just let's clip them right up close to the phone. Let's see if we can hear it. You got the first card?
Let me grab my wallet. Hang on.
I love this.
Andrew, America's waiting. If you could put a little pep in your step, it'd be appreciated.
Well, I'm getting my sound effects ready.
Are you? Okay. Now, do you have the card in your hand now?
And while you're looking for them, tell us what type of credit cards they are. Is it a Discover?
That's what I was trying to do.
Capital One? What you got?
Some Capital One.
Woo.
There's a Chase Sapphire. Ironically, a Chase Freedom.
Oh Lord!
Oh, we're about ready to get free.
Let me tell you, y'all know the country is in more credit card debt than ever before.
Highest ever.
And these folks are defaulting more than ever.
Yeah.
Because we think, and I'm not harping on you, Andrew, while you're out here getting your credit cards so that you can cut them up. Sure. But people get them thinking, oh, I'm going to do the points, or this was my famous last words, I'm going to pay it off every month. I'm going to pay it off every month.
How'd that work out?
It didn't work out because what happens is you start that way, and then there's that pink pea coat at Express that you have to have. That was my thing.
Pea coat.
Or your boyfriend has a job interview and he needs a new suit.
Yeah, he does. What'd you do? Take him down to Men's Warehouse?
I took him down to S&K and I bought him 2 for $200, Ken Coleman. I bought him 2 for 2.
That's so
and it
fantastic.
had a little shine on it. Y'all remember what I'm talking about? Okay, so that's the point.
Right. Can we, Andrew, please tell me you found your wallet.
I'm good to go.
Okay. Pull the card out. All right, you got the scissors?
The scissors. Shing.
All right, we got to get
okay.
All right. Got it all.
All right, let's go. Right now, tell us the card and then cut it. Get close to the phone. What's the first card we're cutting?
All right, this guy here is a Capital One Platinum.
Okay. Everybody quiet. Now go.
Here we go.
A.
There we go.
Did you cut it?
Did you hear that?
I heard it crack.
I'll be honest, folks. It was a little bit disappointing.
No, Ken, I heard it crack in half.
It's not your fault, Andrew. It sounded like you were searching around in the closet for a shoe tree or something.
No, he cut it. I heard it go through when it goes through the thick part where the numbers are. I heard that.
Okay, all right. Now let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and cut the other ones real quick. We don't even have to have the sound effect. What's the second card?
Right. This is, let's see, Citi, American Airlines.
Okay, I'm going to count you down. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
You ready to cut?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. There it is.
Oh,
I heard it. I heard that one drop.
I heard it.
All right, do we have one more?
Good. Yep. This is a. Oh, nope, that's my debit card. Need that.
This is the sound. This is the sound of freedom.
Careful, not the debit card. We need that one. What do you got? Is this last one, right?
Well, I got 2 more.
Okay, come on through.
Andrew, let's just speed the process up here. This is a plastectomy.
Yeah.
Dave used to do this all the time. So here we go. Give me the cut. Right. Go. 3, 2, 1.
All right. Done.
Done.
That was metal, so.
Oh, I felt it in his spirit when he did that. He went, ugh.
This feels so good.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
cut the other two up. Let's put the two together, the last two, and cut through both of them at the same time. What are they?
All right, we've got a Chase Sapphire, and then another Capital One.
Oh, fantastic.
They're lined up.
What's in your wallet? Nothing.
All right.
Nothing.
Okay, cut them up. Ready? 3, 2, 1, cut
Here we
them.
go.
Go.
Woo! And now what I want you to do, I want you to count it down, and you're going to say, I'm credit card debt free. I'm credit card free.
All right.
Oh, your credit card.
I'm credit card free.
Okay,
we're going to count it down. We got Andrew from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Right.
He has cut up 5 credit cards. Come on, Andrew. Count it down. Give him 3, 2, 1. 3,
Me? Oh, 3.
2, 1.
I'm credit card free.
All right. It's a start. It's a start. It's a start. He's on his way, folks. This poor guy, we just manipulated him into all of this, which is somebody needed to do it for you.
I know, that's
Andrew,
right.
now listen, now those cards, they're destroyed. Don't ever use them again. You're done. You paid them off.
Roger that.
Call them up. Close the accounts. Let's do it the right way.
Today.
Call each one.
Today.
Close them up.
All right.
Yeah.
And then you're.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, bro.
Man, you
Thanks,
did it.
Man.
You
You're so
did that.
Hey, you're such a good sport. Thanks for doing that with us. That's what Dave. I don't know how many years ago he started calling those plastectomies, but Andrew just did it, and there was no pain medication. He just went ahead and cut them up right there. That was kind of fun.
That was real. That was real deal right there. That's what you call live and in action.
Wow. So why is that important, Jade? That and again, it's symbolic, yes, because his accounts are still open. He's going to pay them off, we believe, today and close them. But why is that symbolic?
It's a big deal because for a lot of people, that's a safety net. It's the fallback. Instead of trusting that if you follow this plan, it will work for you. And trusting that you can control your behavior. Yeah. Because if you keep those credit cards in your wallet, what you're telling yourself is, I don't trust myself to stay on a budget. I don't trust myself to do what I said I was going to do, which is take my extra money and put it towards debt. I don't trust myself to understand the difference between a need and a want. I don't trust myself to understand that an emergency is not Uncle Boo Boo's wedding. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
And when you do what Andrew did and you take out the scissors and you cut up those cards, you're saying, I trust myself.
Yeah.
I can make good adult decisions and follow through. Yeah. So that's something that's happening on the inside. And we are going to see the outside effect in his bank account and in his money. And he's going to be able to go on and pay off debt and build wealth and do all those things. But it really starts with something inside.
Yeah. I love that. And it's true. And I love that he called in going, you know what? I realized what I did was dumb. Yeah. I totaled the car. He didn't repeat the mistakes.
He didn't. And he saw an opportunity.
Give him some love. You know, he said, hey, I realized what I did in the past. All right, what do I do? And that's the spirit. And the reason I'm calling this out is we had some fun with Andrew. But I hope that most of you get some real inspiration from Andrew to say there's no shame in your game. You made some dumb financial moves. Your life isn't over. You can fix this. You can start fresh. And this young man is doing it. Andrew, you are awesome. So proud of you, bro. Appreciate you calling in and having some fun. I like to do that more. We need to get some like mics on that and get that clipping sound a little better. But hey, he did his best. Hey, Jade Warshaw, great hour. I want to thank the team behind the glass that keeps us on the air, and you, America, for tuning in. This is your show. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey, it's Ken. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio. This is The Ramsey Show. It's where we help you win in your life, specifically your money life, your work life, and in your relationship life. The phone number to jump in is 888-825-5225. I'm Ken Coleman. I'm joined by my colleague, the fabulous Jade Warshaw, 888-825-5225. 888-875-5225. And we're going to stay right here as we start off our phone calls this hour in the shadows of Nashville, Tennessee. Dewey is on the line. Dewey, how can we help?
Hi, Ken and Jade. It's an honor to speak with you both.
Well,
Thank
the
you.
honor is
You
all
too.
ours. What's up?
So I've been playing with ChatGPT, Rationale, and other AI tools since they came out, and they're all very cool. They've increased my productivity by a lot.
Yeah.
But I wonder if, like, my job as a data engineer, I feel like it's going to be fully replaced by AI in the future.
Hold on. You're
And
really
on top
hold on one second, because you're really smart, and I know you're smarter than me. All right. So I want to know what you are basing that concern on, specifically how AI is going to replace a data engineer.
So, like, ChatGPT has made my job easier, and I know, like, data analysts, there's another tool out that I can't remember the name of now, but you can hook your databases to that tool, and it will run any type of question you have for you. You can ask it questions, things like that. So basically anything a data analyst would do, this tool is doing. But, like, even as a data engineer, I see that same thing happening with data engineering too. It's already happened, I feel like, in some ways, because what used to take me 5 hours to figure out, I can figure out in 5 minutes using ChatGPT.
Absolutely. But what is your role in giving information to GPT? So what's your role? Because it doesn't do it on its own. You've got a role. You're doing some input, yes or no?
Yeah, I am.
And then,
but that's
hold on. I'm just walking through this with you. And then when you put the input in and ChatGPT gives you information back, what do you do with that?
I take it and I do something else with it. Like, I make it run end to end.
Right. But see, so my point is AI is not going to threaten people like you, because AI will simply be a tool for people like you. It will not replace you because it cannot do what you can do. True or false?
I mean, right now it can't, but in 10 years, I think it will be able to. Or even 5
All right.
years, really.
Sure. And I'm not going to argue with you on that. I would just tell you that AI, it will never truly replace humans. It cannot. It can implement things that humans want it to implement. It can add to, and we're going to integrate it. But let's get to the heart of your question, because there's a fear, there's a doubt underneath of this, and it's forming a question. What is it that you want to know? What can we help you with?
Yeah, so like I'm wondering if I should continue in this career, because I got laid off in November.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So now my question is, like, should I even continue in this career or try to build a new career, or a combination of both?
Well,
because, like, yes.
Go ahead. Because what?
Because I feel like if there's 100,000 data engineering jobs today, maybe in 5 years there'll only be 10,000 of those.
Yeah.
Because ChatGPT and other AI tools can help, like, make life easier.
All right, so I'm going to ask you two simple questions, and then we'll start to come up with a path forward. Do you still enjoy the work of being an engineer? Let's pull away from just data engineering, but the engineering mindset and the type of work that engineers do. Do you enjoy the work?
Yes.
All right. Are you really good at the work?
I'm above average.
Good.
I'm not like a
Good. I know
Google
you are.
or YouTube. Yeah.
You're good. Now listen, the question is, the skill set you have now and the experience you've had up to this moment, is that transferable in any other part of the working world? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So the mindset now is less about, do I stay in data engineering, or do I move into a different part of engineering, or do I move completely to a completely different industry and I take all the engineer skill sets and experience and apply that there? It's less about that because we know you can do all three. The answer is, the question we're looking for is, what is it that I want to do? And if you want to stay in data engineering, I would stay in it and I'd get back up on the horse and keep going. And it sucks that you got laid off, but that happens, especially in your world, certainly in big tech jobs where they'll hire up, and then we've seen a pattern of them laying off a lot of people. That has nothing to do with you. That's the cycle. So maybe you want to look into maybe smaller companies, small businesses that are still can do very, very large revenue. Small business classification in America goes up to, I believe, 499, maybe 599 employees. So you can kind of guard yourself from some of that up and down volatility that we see with public companies. But you just have to ask yourself, what is it that I want to do? What kind of work do I want to do? And then we say, all right, where can I do that? And we don't worry about things that we cannot control, which is AI going to replace me? I think that's further off than you believe. And I think you'll also get way more evidence of that. And it'll be very, very obvious as well. I don't think it's going to sneak up on you. What do you think about that?
Well, I worry about that because, like, my brother works at Google, and he had to sell off all his stocks in January because everybody at Google is freaking out about ChatGPT.
Okay, hold on. I feel like we went back down the same path.
Hysteria.
What I'm saying is you're scared, but I'm also asking you to acknowledge that you have value in so many different places that you don't need to worry about Chat GPT. And artificial intelligence is not your enemy. You have opportunity. You're focusing on an enemy and not opportunity. It's a mindset. This is all I can coach you on this particular call is mindset. But do you see what I'm asking you to see? Do you see the opportunity versus the enemy?
I do.
Okay.
I do now.
Opportunity, Dewey. Opportunity. And you have so much to give the world. So let's start looking at practical things like, where can I do what I do? That's it. That's all I want you looking at. Where can I do what I do? And then who do I know over there, or who do I know that knows somebody over there? And so now we're getting very tactical, and we're looking to replace our income and do something that we know that we're very good at doing. And we're not going to worry about long off storms and stuff like that. It's just a recipe for fear, Jade. And then what happens is when all I think about is the enemy, I can't move forward because I'm only looking at the enemy and I live scared.
That's right. There's a progression to these things, and thank God, because during that progression, you have the time to adapt.
Yes.
And you see where your inroads are, and you see where your opportunities are. So it's not just, it's from here to complete doom and gloom.
That's right.
You got a progression, and you have the ability to adapt.
Dewey, you got this. You have so much value. Believe it and act like it. This is The Ramsey Show. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman. Jade Warshaw is my colleague, and she joins me this hour. 888-825-5225. Hey, we have so many people that are joining the show all the time, and those of you who've been listening and watching for a while, and we would love for you to help us spread the word. If this show is adding any value to you, imagine how we could help other people, and you're the greatest source of marketing prowess that exists on the planet. Just good old-fashioned word of mouth. So would you consider subscribing, leaving a review, and sharing the show with a friend or family member? We would appreciate it. But can I just say, this is not an invitation for somebody who disagrees with us or doesn't like us to just go drop trash in the comments. Okay. If it doesn't do anything for you, then
don't say nothing at all.
Don't say anything. It's kind of like my grandmama used to say, if you can't say something good, don't say anything.
Come on, Kenneth.
And it's kind of personal for you too. Welcome to the club, though, I should say.
I got initiated into the club. It's funny. The very first time I was on here with Dave, we did a little social media post, and a guy came in there and he was like, so, because, I told a little of my story. And the guy says, so basically, all you have to do is be an idiot with money and Dave Ramsey will hire you.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, yeah, I did dumb stuff with money.
Yeah.
And then a couple of days later, lady comes on and says, who would ever listen to you? And I'm like, okay.
Because you paid off almost $500,000 in debt and changed your life.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
That's why people would listen to you, because you know what it's like to dig a deep hole and then get out.
Yeah, man. So
that's who I want to hear from, by the way. I don't want to hear from somebody who don't have any scars.
Oh, man. When Sam and I were getting out of debt, so for those of you who don't know, my husband and I, we got married. And soon after, your student loans don't become due until about 6 months after you actually graduate. So we didn't really realize what we had combined. Mm-hmm. So about 6-8 months into marriage, we realized we were deeply, deeply, deeply into debt. Most of it was student loan debt. $280,000 of it was student loans, and the rest 2 cars that we couldn't afford, $20,000 in credit cards. In the end, we had $460,000 in debt. And when we started, I got a little bit of an attitude because I know some folks have made me a little bit salty, Ken. So I have a little bit of attitude in my voice.
I like the
When
salt.
we started, our income was $30K.
Ooh.
Because we were musicians, fresh out. I worked at a clothing store. And, we had big dreams, and it was like, okay, what are we going to do? Put up or, buck up or get out of here, So we started working, and we were working for a cruise line, traveling all around the world. We ended up starting a business to try to get our income up, and it worked. And we did any and everything we could in between our normal music jobs to earn money, Ken.
Did you have a place to live, or were you just living on the cruise ship?
We were, so you go out there for just a couple of days at a time, and then you fly home. It's a lot of flights.
Oh,
and we were living in a townhouse, and we got roommates.
Yeah.
Married folks.
With roommates.
Because
you were hardly ever there.
We were there enough.
So you were like the Real Life Friends episode. They were always there.
Yeah. I'll be there. Yeah, they were there all the time. And we did that to save $600 a month. And we did all sorts of things, Ken.
Yeah.
We sold all of our furniture. Slept on an air mattress.
That's all you had in the
We slept
apartment?
on an air mattress for 5 years, Ken Coleman. So when people come at me and they don't think I'm qualified to teach this, a man with an experience is never at the mercy of a man with an opinion.
That's a fact.
Because I did this. Sam Warshaw, Jade Warshaw, we did this.
Do you guys have long-term chiropractic care?
Nah, dude.
You were
good.
okay? You
we
guys
were in
were
our
young.
20s.
You
When
were
you're in your
young.
20s, you're made out of rubber, man.
So
you can do
all
whatever.
you had in the townhome was an air mattress.
We had an air mattress for a good minute. And I remember when we saved up enough cash and we bought these faux, the faux leather.
Oh, yeah.
That when you can't afford the Italian leather.
Oh, yeah.
We had these.
You stick to it.
Yeah.
You're like when you get up to go to the bathroom when you're watching a game, you know what I mean?
do.
And the leg goes like this.
Yeah.
Right off the top.
But we were so excited to have them, we slept on them.
Well,
we were like, I'm sleeping on these.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm saying, the sacrifice to win, to walk through the baby steps, and to walk through baby step 2, it took us 7.5 years to do that, Ken.
And that's why she's actually here, because she did it. I don't want to take advice from a professor. I don't want to take a business class from a professor that has never run a successful business. So why would you take financial advice from somebody who's never failed financially and then had to win?
Yeah. And that's the thing.
All you haters out there, don't get me started on the
Sipping
keyboard
on that
warriors. Haterade. I mean, they're cowards because they like to fire stuff from the safety of the keyboard. They'd never say it to your face.
No.
And so I don't listen to cowards. In fact, the team over on the Ken Coleman Show, they're instructed. All negative comments. I don't mean like healthy, constructive criticism.
Well, yeah, because we do want to learn from,
Yeah. But I mean just the nasty, like you're an idiot, whatever. Well, sure. I wouldn't argue with you for 2 seconds about it.
And that's the thing.
But I'm not going to read that crap. So it goes immediately into the deleted folder. So if you think you're really getting at us, you're not.
Yeah.
Take your venom somewhere else.
Because we're out here really trying to help you.
Yeah.
We hear you guys.
Yep.
You guys are, what you're going through, we care about that.
And have walked through it
And
ourselves.
have walked through it. So the things that we're telling you is things that we have done, things that we have tried, things that we have felt. We're right there with you, man. If you're in baby step 2, and if you're in what I call the 6-figure freedom club, where you're trying to pay off 6 figures or more of debt, I see you, man. I feel you. I feel your pain. I feel the struggle when it's Friday night, like tonight, and everybody else is going out.
What'd you do on Friday night? Take me back since we got the air mattress. What was Friday night when you guys were broke?
Nacho night. Make some nachos at the crib.
Like how? Hold on, because you're a good cook.
I am.
What was old school broke Jade nachos? Was it the shredded cheese melted, or was it real nacho cheese?
No. It was honestly, it was whatever we had in the refrigerator. That's what I was going to figure out something to make. I did not.
So some nights it was like vegan nachos. Some night it was protein nachos.
No. It was we keep it clean. It's always vegan. Don't get it twisted, Ken.
Well,
don't be trying to get it twisted.
Not. I'm actually asking because you're a clean. Folks don't know you're a super clean eater. So how do you eat clean when you're broke? Because I'd be getting the government cheese for my nachos. I promise
stay on
you
the
right
outside.
now.
You got to stay on the outside of the grocery store because that's where all the healthy stuff is. Fruits, vegetables, all the produce. And then if you're going to go on the inner aisles, that's where you get your proteins. So your nuts, your beans, that kind of thing, right? And you buy what's on sale. And what you can't buy fresh, you buy frozen. And what you can't afford to buy frozen, you buy in a can. That's how you do it. If you can't afford to buy the fresh spinach, you buy the frozen spinach, right? And you just work on down. If you can't get the fresh carrots, you buy the frozen carrots. If you can't get the frozen carrots, then you get the canned carrots. And you just go on down the line like that.
That's good.
But no one can tell me that, there's no way to eat healthy when you don't have money. You do not have to buy ramen noodles. You do not have to buy McDonald's because McDonald's is not cheap anymore, by the way.
No.
You go through fast food with kids, you're spending $70.
By the way, I saw an article recently of a dude who literally forgot, he moved from somewhere and a friend of his brought his coat back to him. It was like a trench coat. Been 2 years. He gets the trench coat, hangs it up in the closet. A couple days later, he puts it on, puts his hand in the pocket. This is a true story. And he feels something crinkling in there and he pulls it out. It's a McDonald's hamburger that had been in there for at least 2 years. He opened it up expecting it to see like the mold and the fur growing. Looked exactly the same as the day he bought.
Fresh as a daisy.
And I just got to tell you, I'm not eating that.
Okay.
If it can stay in a trench coat for 2 years and not mold, it probably shouldn't go in my belly, is all I'm saying.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right. You're exactly right. And so...
But when it comes to nachos, I'd probably have to get some processed meat or something.
Look, don't get me started. You know what I do with the tofu. I
I'm
make
just
it work.
messing with you right now.
I make it work. But that's what I'm saying.
Hey, next time we're on together, I want in the third hour you to bring in some tofu nachos. I'll eat it on the air. I want to try it.
I'll do something. I can't guarantee it's going to be nachos. I'll do something.
Well, tofu, anything. I've never had tofu in my life.
What?
Never.
All right.
The only person I'll eat it for is you, but it has to be on the show.
I will hook it up. Don't you worry about that, Ken Coleman.
All right. Well, that was fun.
It was.
Hey, all that to say, we get it. As Jade said, she sees you, she hears you, and we do. So, back to the phones we go. It's going to be fun. We're still here for you. Don't move. This is The Ramsey Show. All right, folks, welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, and Jade Warshaw is with me. And so in the last segment, I was talking about because Jade's a clean eater. She's a cook. She's fantastic with food, and she makes me feel very guilty. And so I told the story about the guy who discovered the burger. And the guys in the booth are so amazing. They looked it up. So for those watching on YouTube, we're going to pull this up on the screen here. I was wrong in one major factor. It wasn't 2 years in the jacket. It was 14 years,
oh
Jade.
Oh, my gosh.
14 years, this McDonald's burger. And now, and this article came out a couple years ago, so now the burger is, by our calculations, 24 years of age.
Oh, no.
And he's kept it, Jade. It's now a collector's item, if you would.
And it's still going strong?
I could nuke it and eat it.
Oh.
I wouldn't. I said I could. It's still in its. There's no mold on it. Nothing. It looks like
I am deeply.
There it is.
Deeply disturbed.
There is the picture of that meat.
Oh.
If that's what you can call it.
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Careful.
Careful.
Be
is
careful.
What we're saying.
Be. Ooh. I have nothing left to go on after that.
We're gonna leave that alone. All of a sudden, I have some indigestion. So let's move on. All right. So a lot of you are thinking about moving, and that's always exciting. And we want to be excited for you. We are, but we also want to make sure that you know what you're doing. You're going to be facing some sky-high prices. Interest rates aren't going to return to their record lows anytime soon, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't buy a home and that it's going to be impossible to buy a home. If you want to buy or sell, you got to make sure you're financially ready and you've got a trusted and experienced real estate agent to walk you through it, not a family friend who just got their license last month, and not someone who does it part-time who really wants to help you out. You need a pro, a true expert, and you can find a high-caliber Ramsey trusted agent that through our Endorsed Local Providers program has been vetted, and they're winners and have been winning for a long time because they know what they're doing, and that now becomes knowledge that helps you out. And so we vet these agents from all around the country. You're going to get the best support in your area, whether you're moving from Florida to Alaska or you're buying your first home somewhere in between. RamseySolutions.com/agent is the website to go to. RamseySolutions.com/agent and get yourself a real estate pro who we trust to help you out. So there you go. Also, I'm supposed to mention, no, I'm not. That's next time. So I
we met some of these real estate folks down in Austin.
Oh, we did. Yeah.
In Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Man, and I can say these are great people.
Yeah.
If you are not sure about what we're talking about here, these Ramsey trusted real estate, you need to get on it and get about it because these are real people. They are vetted. They understand what's going on. And just a little something there.
There it is. RamseySolutions.com/agent. All right, back to the phones we go. Los Angeles, California is where Daniel awaits. Daniel, how can we help?
Hey, Ken. Hey, Jade.
How are you, sir?
I am a university student. I just moved out here on campus. I am $4,000 in debt. I have my baby step one emergency fund. I have another $1,000 in cash in my bank account, and I currently am not paying rent. But my issue is that I'm currently at a work study job that is not paying me as much as I was making with my prior higher education experience. And I wanted to see if I should pivot that into either leaving the that workplace or just adding something else onto with the other experience that I have. But honestly, the job that I'm currently doing isn't focused on the type of field that I'm trying to continue. It's more administrative.
It's not related. It's not. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time understanding some of what you're saying, so I got to clarify a couple things. The current work study or the job you're in now is not related to where you want to be long term. Is that what I heard?
It's related to higher education, but it's not related to teaching, which is what I want to do long term.
Okay, right. So it's really not the ladder that you want to be on. So that already is an indicator that we want to get out of there. I mean, it's stability to some level, but not much because you need to be making more money. But I want to pause the conversation real quick. I'm going to come in and clean up something really fast. You've got $4,000 in debt. And you got $4,000 in cash above and beyond baby step one, which is what we say is a $1,000 amount in a savings account for everyday emergencies, real emergencies. So why wouldn't you take the $4,000 cash above and beyond that and go ahead and pay that debt off and be debt free? That would immediately save you money.
Correction, it's $1,000 in cash. And I would like to put as much cash down on the debt that I have.
Yeah.
But my conflict is just a low pay at the time.
Okay, so I heard you incorrectly.
He's got $1,000 emergency fund. He's got $4,000 in debt. And didn't you say you have an additional $1,000?
Yes, I have baby step one, and I have $1,000 in my bank account at the moment.
Okay, I thought I heard 4. I'm sorry.
Okay, we see.
So we want you to all right, never mind. So we want you to keep working the baby steps.
But I do have a question regarding that money. Are you going to have student loans when you come out of this? Like, are you paying cash for college?
So fortunately, I have financial aid covers most of my schooling. At the moment, I'm only paying $400 out of pocket for the rest of my rent and my parking permit.
Good deal.
So
Okay.
$400 per quarter, so that's about $1,200 a year.
Okay.
Good deal.
All right, so let's just focus on this professional question then. What's keeping you from stepping out of this work you're doing now and getting back into teaching?
Honestly, I've just been having a lot of time conflicts with my transition to the university and with housing. But I honestly need to just find another job. There's a career fair today, so I also wanted to ask about some tips. It is in education as well. So,
all right, hit me with it. We're here for you. How can I help you most right now?
At the moment, I think I just need a little bit of a nudge, but I also need guidance on how to transition, or if I should add or just leave this workplace in general.
No. Okay, I know. That's why we're kind of dancing around this thing. I'm saying, what are you? Are you doubtful? Are you fearful? Because we know that I'm giving you the nudge. I've already told you that you need to start looking, and we're going to be leaving this current job. It is not the ladder that you want to be on. We've already established that. So what guidance do you need on the transition? Because the transition, in my mind, is very simple. It is, I'm looking, I'm connecting, I'm interviewing, I'm accepting. That's it. We don't leave the current job until we have a new job to walk into. So transitions to me are really, really simple because we remove risk. There's no risk involved in this scenario that I've heard so far.
What are you earning at this work study?
Currently, the max that I can be earning is about $310 a week take home, and so that's about $1,200.
So if you're interested in education and you're earning and you need to replace $310 a week, can you just start tutoring? Is there anything else that you can do on your own? You don't need to wait for anybody else. You don't have to. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, I believe I can tutor. I'm also looking into different private companies that do tutoring, but on my own, I don't have any guidance for that, and I don't know where to start.
Okay, you do know where to start. Who do you want to teach? Who do you want to teach? Let's take all limits off this. Who do you want to teach? What?
I do want to teach higher education. I want to teach.
Are you qualified to teach? Are you qualified to teach at the higher education level?
I am not qualified to teach, but I do think I'm qualified to tutor.
Okay, great. So if you don't know where to go, it's called Google. And when you're in Los Angeles, wherever you are, you're looking for people that are tutoring. It's called The Proximity Principle. It's a best-selling book. I'm going to give it to you because it's going to actually take all of this fear and all this confusion that you've got in your head. It's going to simplify. It's going to tell you the people to be around, the places to get into. You just need to get active, my friend. Stop thinking and start connecting. When I connect with the right people, they help me get in the right places, and that's when opportunity shows up, knocks on my door. But young man, I wrote an entire book. It's going to walk you through it. Hang on the line. Get your chin up. Let's start going where the people are that you want to help, and you know where to find them. Start looking. Hang on the line. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman. Jade Warshaw joins me in studio this hour. The phone number to jump in is 888-825-5225. We're here to talk to you about your life, your money life, your work life, your relationship life, and we want to help you win, so we are here for you. 888-825-5225. Our scripture of the day is Luke 21:19. Stand firm, and you will win in life. Our quote from LeBron James: people will hate you, rate you, shake you, and break you, but how strong you stand is what makes you.
Whew.
Did he say that, or did he rip that off from somebody?
That was like a book. That was
Felt like he might be writing a song.
Yeah.
I'd had a little lyrical process. Okay, I got to bring this up, and I think I know where it's going to go, and we can't spend more than 30 seconds on it.
Okay, come on, hit me.
Who's the greatest basketball player
Michael
of all time?
Jordan.
Thank you.
Michael Jordan, and don't at me.
Thank you. Yeah.
I am willing to lose friends over this.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's not even close. And I love bringing it up. It's like the greatest thing to fight about that never really gets ugly because it's just that. But
check the rings.
Thank you.
Check the rings. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Hey, after record high prices and interest rates, could the housing market actually be cooling down? There have been some early indicators, but there's more to the story than just a clickable headline. We've got the full scoop on the current housing market in this weekend's edition of the Ramsey Newsletter. Simply sign up at RamseySolutions.com/newsletter. That's RamseySolutions.com/newsletter to subscribe to our weekly newsletter. All right, back to the phones we go. Michael is in Indianapolis, Indiana. Michael, how can we help?
Hey, just to start off, I'm glad you both said Michael Jordan because I might have had to hang up if you
See, that's what I'm talking about, Michael.
You're my guy. I would have been okay with that. Good for you, sir. All right, how can we help?
Yeah, so my situation might be a little different than some people right now, but I've been working from home for 7-8 years. But I got a job opportunity, currently going through some interviewing processes, but they might want me to come back into the office for 50% of the week. So typically people are worried about going to working from home, and I'm kind of thinking about maybe moving back to the office for 50% of the time. But kind of just concerned about family time, stuff like that. I right now currently I'm a consultant, so been working in software consulting. I'm an architect. Been working there for 8 years, working from home, and kind of built the consulting company up to sale, and sold last year, cashed out, and kind of don't see any real reason to stick around. Don't really see too much vertical movement here, and got an opportunity with an insurance firm, possibly higher management. So I'd be reporting directly to the VP of the company.
Okay.
I'd be over pretty much their software solutions there, and I'd be over a team while they're developing all the stuff that they're working on.
Will you get a nice bump as well in pay?
Not necessarily. It sounds like I might get a little bit, but kind of not.
But the opportunity for a nice bump is there.
Yeah. I think it might be a little bit. It might be like 10, 15,000, but
right. But I'm saying
my salary's already pretty well.
Right, but over the course of the next several years with growth, that's where the opportunity is coming, is what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah, possibly.
All right.
Possibly. It just kind of depends on what their pay increase schedule looks like.
Okay. Well, I think you got to find out that stuff. You need to know. That's the kind of stuff it's okay to ask. You got to ask them when somebody wants you, it's okay to be wanted, but it's also okay for you to say, all right, I got to see if I want this, and I'm asking, what does my vertical opportunity look like? So I'd go find out. Now, here's the question I've got. I think this is the ultimate question. If this job that has been offered to you was 100% remote, would you be calling me right now?
No, definitely not.
All right, so that's the answer. You want this job, and I think you should take this job. But when I removed the whole remote thing, it was like, oh, I'd absolutely do it. It's a good professional move. You're completely worried, or you're just really comfortable in this remote gig you've been doing for 7 to 8 years. And so you've got to come to grips with that, my friend. But I would never, ever, 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 ever sacrifice an opportunity because of comfortability. Your kids are going to be fine. Your family's going to be fine if you go into work 50% of the week. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, then.
For sure.
So Here's my point. If the family's going to be okay, this now comes down to your preference, your wife's preference. And again, that's an okay thing. But when you put it all on the table, and I hope you now and the audience can see what I've just did, I just put everything on the table, and I would never turn down this opportunity in this situation. I would take it. Jade?
You're the career coach, but this call relates to me deeply because when you said that was my situation before coming here, built a business, is very successful, and I was working. I've only worked from home. I've only worked as a contractor. I've only worked for myself. So coming to Ramsey, it was a big opportunity, a new opportunity, totally different. I was going to have to go into the workforce and come into the office every day, something I've never done. Used to being able to be on my own schedule. If the kids need this, I can go do it. And that was a big thing to weigh. So my 2 cents here is really making sure that you're not doing it for, as we went through, the pay. You're not doing it, but you truly, truly love and feel very connected to the purpose behind what it is that you're going to be doing. Because when you start having those doubts about, oh man, I used to be able to just have this level of autonomy, or it used to be I could pick up the kids at any point, and you're used to that, you'll immediately go back to your why, and it will be strong enough to keep you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's why I asked him, would you take this job if it was remote? And he said, absolutely. And so there's more pulling at you than
That's
remote. Right. And so I'm assuming that this is something that you're very excited about and you see the potential. Yes?
Oh yeah. I definitely see the potential in it, because it's like right now I'm working consulting. It's like I do the same thing I would be doing at this job, but I'd be doing it for 3-4 companies at once. And there's been multiple times where I've been on 2 phone calls at once, one on each ear, muting each one in between each conversation, because some of the customers overlap meetings, and the customer is always right. You got to be in there, and they don't care if you have other projects, because they think they're your primary focus.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're excited about this new challenge.
Right. Yeah, I think so. And I feel like it would be less stress, even though it would be in the office, because it's like I work from home, but I'm really locked in my office from 8 to 5.
Exactly.
Sometimes even working over.
And here's the deal. You said this is hybrid. This isn't even full-time.
That's true, 50%.
This is hybrid. I think it's a good thing, but I'd like to see you go from, and again, Michael, if you're using the word think as just a throwaway word, that's fine. But I'd like to hear you go, oh yeah. I keep hearing, I think so. So I'm going to challenge you to go get to the answers that you need to where you go, I know so.
Right.
Is this a good move for you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it would be a good move for the career, yes, for sure. Yeah,
but again, Jade, she's right, and this is what I teach. Don't just take this because you think so, and because we got to know so. And here's
this whole process. I've been talking to my wife about it. She had a kind of an emotional response to me not working from home anymore, but it's just like the initial talking.
Let me tell you.
Don't ignore that.
Let me tell you something, my friend. I will tell you that everything you've told me so far says that you should probably take this job, with the caveat that you go get more answers so you know so. But I'm going to tell you something else. You just threw me new information. Mm-hmm. And this is a marriage decision. Make no mistake about it. Well, you better get straight with her on this. And it's not as simple as her not being on board with it. It is your job. And I'm going to call men out here. It is your job in this situation, because it's your opportunity to go to your wife and cast a vision for her and not tell her what you're doing, but sell it to her to where she actually goes, okay, you better solve this, because if you take this gig and Jade, she's still having problems with it.
Oh, it's going to be miserable.
So please get this thing straight. Let's not rush into this. The weekend is a good time for some dates, some conversations here, Mike.
Conversation.
Hey, great job, Jade Warshaw. Always fun to be with you. And I want to say thanks to the Austin and the crew there that kept us on the air today. Hey, America, this is your show. Thank you so much for being a part of it. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jade. Look, if you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.